All right, we are going to be graphing linear equations today. We'll look at equation number 1, 4x plus 6y equals negative 24. Step 1 is to get this equation in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So I got to get y by itself, so I'm going to move the 4x to the other side. By subtracting it, that's going to leave me with 6y equals negative 4x minus 24. And then the last thing I need to do here is, again, get y by itself by dividing everything in this equation by 6. That will leave me with y equals negative 4/6 x minus 4. I'm going to go ahead and simplify the slope to negative 2/3. You do not have to do this, but I'm going to just because I like to have my fractions in simplest form if possible. Okay, now from here, we need to make sure that we know that the slope is the coefficient of x, negative 2/3. And the y-intercept, our b, is negative 4. Okay, so to graph this line, this is the information that we're going to use here. I start at b. Remember, that's my y-intercept. I'm going to start at b, negative 4 on the y-axis. My slope is negative 2/3, so that means that my line needs to be going down. Okay, so I'm going to go down 2, right 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to go the opposite direction, up 2, left 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do that a couple times. I like to have lots of points because it helps me draw my line, because I am very bad at drawing straight lines. So my line here is going to look like this. That is the graph of the line of 4x plus 6y equals negative 24. Is this line right here. Okay, let's take a look at number 2. I'll do number 2 in green. Number 2, x equals 4. Very simple linear equation. Let's think about what that means here for a second. If I have an equation that says x equals 4, that means that for every point on my line, the x coordinate is going to be 4. So maybe I could have the coordinate 4, 1, the coordinate 4, negative 2, the coordinate 4, 6. All of my x coordinates are going to be 4. The y coordinates will be different. Let's think about what that's going to look like. If I have a bunch of coordinates with an x coordinate of 4, if I have 4, 1, 4, negative 2, 4, 6, you should be able to see pretty quickly here that this is just going to be the vertical line going through x equals 4. Okay, so the green line is my equation of the line x equals 4. And now let's think about the next one, y equals negative 1. It's going to work pretty similar. If you think about what this equation is saying, this line is going to be composed of points with a y coordinate of negative 1. So the point 4, negative 1, 9, negative 1, maybe negative 3, negative 1. All of my y coordinates have to be negative 1. So again, let's think about what that's going to look like graphically. If I go 4, negative 1, that's going to give me the point here. If I go 9, negative 1, that's going to give me the point here. Negative 3, negative 1 will be here. And you should be able to realize pretty quickly here that this is just a horizontal line through the coordinate y equals negative 1. So remember, if it's x equals a constant, it is a vertical line. If it's y equals a constant, it is a horizontal line. And there are some examples of graphing linear equations.